Hey guys, so I was going to record a live stream or do a live stream rather, and it's not working for me. And on top of it, someone flag age restricted one of my videos, so thanks. I guess I'm hurting someone's feelings. But today, by popular request, my KJ story and why we should thank KJ. Yes, should be grateful. So initially, I was looking at popular live streams and I was like, oh, let me look around, see what's popular. My niece recommended a few, and I'm not going to talk about those in the present day. We're going to talk about how I even saw this. So I was new, I got some things in my feed, I guess according to what they thought my age was, and KJ came in my feed. So initially it was interesting. I learned a lot about her. She's an autism mom. I work with autism moms all the time, but mostly parents of kids with rare genetic disorders, the elderly, and immune compromised people because of the work I do. So I watched one of her lives. I commented a few times, and she was actually trying to debate whether cannabis is helpful for autism or seizures. And I was just like, dude, like, haven't you heard? Like, that's already been proven. There's an FDA regulated drug made from CBD, so on and so forth. There's so much research. So I was like, if you'd like, I'd love to come on and talk to you about the different options there are, because there are like 90 cannabinoids specifically, and there's over 200 like molecules or compounds that are only found in the cannabis plant that are medically relevant. The research is new. So we exchanged a few messages, and all of a sudden she was very busy and this and that. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not, I have a lot of platforms locally. I speak at community meetings, I speak at all kinds of meetings. I've been to Autism One, even though I totally disagree with their whole like idea, and I totally disagree with the anti-vaxxers and all that. I still have gone there and given information. That's what I do. I was not trying to sell them anything. I was not trying to invade her space. I wasn't even trying to make her look stupid as much as I was trying to enlighten her as to what is safe cannabis product versus MLM versus Amazon crap. Because the stuff on Amazon does not have 40,000 milligrams. 40,000 milligrams. Just for reference, 40 grams is a lot. And those bottles of oil don't even weigh that much. So be careful out there. Side note. Anyways, so she was complaining that, oh, that's what she said. I'm sorry. During her live, she said there's no scientific proof, and I was like, well, actually, there is. And I'm one of the people that's published the scientific proof of cannabis actually having a mechanism in killing cancer cells. Now, this is not claiming that it's a cure for cancer, although I have made people cannabis oil and I have dosed people with cannabis oil and they have gone into remission. It is a potent treatment for people who cannot take chemotherapy, which there are many, including pregnant women. Pregnant people cannot take cannabinoids, chemotherapy, and so there has to be an alternative for pregnant people. I want to clarify, that pregnancy is a medical condition whereby your entire body changes. I studied lactation in grad school and breast cancer and compared the two pathways. So that's my area of expertise is breasts. So I actually went to school to get my PhD because I wanted a PhD to pursue a career in cannabis research. Unlike a lot of people in my industry and a lot of people in general. Now there might be more, but at the time nobody was going to Johns Hopkins to get a PhD in biochemistry, cell and molecular biology, to study cannabis. So I kind of let it go. Um, she didn't message me. I told her I had availability, I think, the following week. She didn't message me. I didn't follow up with her either. I was probably busy. This was in 2019 before the COVID, so I know I was traveling a lot. I was traveling all the way until November when I actually got really sick. Um, so, yeah. I found her messages, though, to be extremely condescending. And I wasn't sure if she thought I was like super young. But at one point, I think I did mention I was older than I look. um, and I'm not really into the shows she reviews. So I watch like RuPaul's Drag Race review. I don't really venture that much into mainstream TV. I don't watch much TV. I watch some late night shows and clips here and there, but I have like a weird taste as far as entertainment. Anyways, um, I did go back and watch her show a few months later, remembering that I was supposed to follow up with her, and I found her show very much the same spot I left it. Like, I don't know if she thinks she's an expert in every field. She was like saying, implying that people had psychological issues and specific ones, and then her son was suddenly speaking and he was nonverbal. I mean, that can happen. Maybe he developed. It just seemed really fishy. And every time someone disagreed, I noticed a trend of her just shutting people down. So then I just like disagreed just to be, disagreeing because someone who's like, oh, I don't like this, so I'm going to play with it. Um, I'm not a victim of Katie Joy, but I do want to thank her for showing me how to not interact with people. I was born with mild cerebral palsy and mild autism, I know now. And I do a lot of the fidgety things. I do a lot of the fidgety things naturally. I don't take any other medications but cannabis products, and I don't get high unless it's evening time when I'm done with all my things. Um, so it was really eye opening. And it showed me how the borderline between having followers and fans and people who are interested in what you're talking about versus, like, in my opinion, a clique. And it was very, reminded me of junior high or high school, like the girls that would get together that maybe weren't as attractive and they would all band together to make up rumors or start things with the pretty girls. And so, as someone who, even in high school, didn't play that game, I won't play that game. I'm thankful for people who give me an example of what not to be. You know, there's other people here who showed me that this is not the place to, like, be extremely mentally ill in public. Um, I've learned from other creators how uncomfortable you can make people when you start being overly emotional. I've learned how fake you can come off if you're overly produced, overly done. So I'm thankful for all those things because without those things, who knows? I might have made the same mistakes. I might have had like all kinds of lives and been like, no, that's not the case. And people are just wanting to conversate. Sometimes people are asking questions and I have a hard time knowing. But now I realize, like, I take everything as a question. Um, and even if it's something meant negative, I just kind of turn it around into something educational or positive. I don't know if I'm the type of person that would even respond to like all the things she responds to at our age. We should be a little bit above like trolls and things like that. Like, oh, you said my head is big. Oh, you told me I should kill myself. You know, like, come on. It's like 12-year-olds. Like, who cares? I fail to understand. This light, this light really doesn't like me very much. Anyways, so I wanted to thank everyone for subbing, and that's my story. It's not really a big deal. It's just funny that somebody who talks about people is getting talked about and like cares so much about what everyone's saying when they're also trying to make money off clicks and like in my opinion it's kind of hilarious. I think what was hilarious the most is like the 10 tier breakdown. Like I think the best remedy always for when you get in a pickle is silent retreat. And so we can only hope that silent retreat is in the future. Because this is all like a big, I don't like her, she's rich and pretty. You know, like all of her targets seem to be rich, pretty girls who've made money probably doing the bare minimum, but it's not. I mean, obviously, people are paying them for what they do. I mean, that's like me being bitter that I don't make, X amount of money and have this wonderful education. Like, and so I pick out somebody. Like, no, girl, like, you can't do that. And I work in an industry where I've been called names and everything. I have haters. I mean, they can sit in line with the rest. And if they want to pop off at the lip, they get the toddy treatment, I guess, huh? I mean, I've been in that situation. I've had people say, you're not a real doctor. And I'm like, where do you think the word doctor comes from? It's for PhDs or doctors. We're doctors of philosophy, meaning we are doctors we have our doctorates in the ideas surrounding the topic that we have our PhD in. And it's actually only started recently being used for physicians. And if you go to the UK, you wouldn't ask for actually a chemist, which is what people tend to call me here because I have a PhD in biochemistry. If you called me a chemist in the UK, you'd be calling me a pharmacist because technically a chemist, when you go to the chemist, you go to the drugstore, the pharmacy. So in America, we have a PharmD, which is a pharmacy doctorate. They are also a doctor. So I think it's really like important that we understand what's important when we're filing lawsuits, because lawsuits cost a lot of money, and there's a lot of people who actually need courts because of violent crime or other things. And I'm not like specifically promoting the police and court system because I think it's in shambles and needs to be completely different. Maybe not what it is right now because it doesn't work for everyone the same. That said, you need to watch what you bring to a court of law. Like, a court of law is about serious things. And I've had to have like a cease and desist thing over someone saying I wasn't a doctor and adding that I didn't go to Johns Hopkins when it's clearly searchable on the internet, along with that thesis that says cannabis does have a mechanism of action against breast cancer. Yep, all searchable on the internet. Google's your friend. It's free of charge. So I understand defamation. I've been there. I've been there a lot. I've been there. I've been the recipient of hate crimes and hateful messages. As an activist for cannabis, an activist for human rights, activist for the planet, environmental activism is where I started. I've had to cease and desist people. I've had to go there because what they said is actually something serious. Um, so I don't understand how you get so many cease and desists and you brag about it, and then when you get sued, you're shocked. I think the whole he murdered his mom thing is fucking terrible. As someone who's had a parent pass away and it took a long time and they progressively got worse over time and it took a while and there is hospice care almost. That is a heartbreaking process. It doesn't matter how what you're inheriting, um, and to call someone a murderer, if that's what happened, is incredibly tacky. Especially if this is the same Tati you were like just like jealous and hating on, basically, from what I saw. In this day and age, I can't believe that 40-year-olds are acting this way. I'm just as shocked as like when I saw the thread of this like other company owner talking about my PhD as if it wasn't. And here's the thing, I got my PhD at a medical school. Yeah, it's really biomedical research. It's what I'm PhD'd in. So those cases are really serious, and defamation is something like that. Like you call someone a murderer, you say they're not accredited for their professional work. I mean, there's reasons defamations will stick. So I hope she's ready for that. I just don't think it was necessary, and I don't know why she would add that to the story. It's incredibly tacky. It doesn't matter how long ago it was, even, or what he got out of it. It's like that's somebody's parent passing, and I just think that's really, really disgusting. So that's my opinion. And I know that's a highly wanted opinion, so I'm gonna drop it here. The most important thing I learned from Katie is like, I don't know. I'm really trying, guy. I think that it almost deserves its own video, and I think it kind of goes along with what's going on with like Eugenia Cooney and like Trisha Paytas and like Paris Paris Perez Hilton. Like they're just trying too hard, and it's like I'm from LA. I was born and raised in LA. Just backstory. I used to dance like B girl, break dancer. I'm gonna do a story time about my time as a B girl slash break dancer. If you don't know what that is, and so I worked in Hollywood. I worked because it was easy, fast money. I mean, it's not easy. I don't want to say that. It's a lot of hours, but it pays well. At least if you're getting paid SAG level to dance, it's you love doing it and you're young. It was fun. It was fun, and I loved it. So like when people are trying too hard, though, I like it just really like bothers me. I don't know. I mean, it may be my laid back LA style. Like, I just don't, I can't get into it. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? Woo! And like, just calm down. Calm down. Chill. Like, just calm down, please. Because it's too much. And so, what all of these people have taught me is that it's okay to be modest and moderate and just kind of be yourself. I mean, there's nobody like you. So if you want original content, you're going to have to be yourself. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for subscribing and leave me some comments. Let me know, like, if there's any other topics you'd like to know or anything you'd like to know about me. I'm going to work on my before I was a doctor story time. which will tell you all about my fun time working in hip hop here in LA before I went to medical school. So I'm super excited, and so please like and subscribe if you like my stories. I have a lot of stories. And otherwise, I'm really glad to see everyone. I hope everyone's having happy holidays, staying safe, staying home. Remember to take that vaccine if you can get it. And I will see you soon. Bye.